Michael had asked how often, or does a photo ever drive a blog post versus the dish or the story?
For me, the photography always drives the blog post. It really does.
Wow.
I switch. You know, it used to be, like I said, that I would write something and then I'd go take a photograph thinking that would be good to match the story I just wrote. But I think that it's going to be all artsy-fartsy artist talk about here, but since photography is so much about a place without words for me, if I put down those photographs and really think, oh, there's that light, and I feel good about that photograph, then I sit down to write. I also feel more comfortable going to an unsafe place and just writing. I always think of David Byrne and Stop Making Sense whenever I sit down to write. Yeah, I have that song in my head, like, you know, stop making sense. Because it's very easy to put sentences together that are very neat and concise and do the job.
Yep.
And that's not why I'm doing it.
I'm glad that you said that, though, because quite honestly, the fact that your writing starts with a visual kind of experience. You know, I found that with my blog, too, when I was doing the things like developing recipes, and I've talked about not really doing much of that anymore.
Yeah.
But everything I do is photo driven in my life, so I decided that I made a switch as well, and the driving force in mine is now photography, and I find it so much easier to write about pictures than to take pictures about writing.
Yeah.
So it's
like a bicycle and a fish, right?
You know, exactly. So
Yeah.
that, you know, I think we're at the same place in a weird way.
Yeah, and I think that readers are in that place too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we are bombarded with information in this society, and and I've made this mistake, as I said, for a while, thinking like people came to our site for the recipe. As soon as I made that soft pretzel gluten-free, then I've kept them happy. And what I've found in the last 6 months or so is I've heard from thousands of people saying, I'm not even gluten-free. I've never made a single one of your recipe. I check into your website every single day because I love your story, I love your voice, I love your family, which is a very humbling, beautiful thing. And so it's released me from the notion of making sense and trying to fit into some monetization, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.